Hey, what is up all you do-it-yourselfers? My name's Dylan Taylor. This is our backyard, and we're going to be making a greenhouse out of an old Shelter Logic tarp shed. Gonna be something that we can grow things throughout the winter. So we've got a lot of problems to solve and a short amount of time to do it because it's the beginning of September and it's already sweater weather outside here in Canada. We're gonna get started on that right now. So we brought the shell of a shed over to whereabouts we wanted it to be. We needed to know where to dig the holes. So we ran lines of spray paint down the sides of the greenhouse and also marked the ends so that we knew where we should be digging these holes. We're going to dig up these lines just wide enough that these skids will go in it. We're gonna get to the digging now. Here we go, cutting the skids in half, and I did this because I didn't want to dig such a huge hole, and it came down to what materials I had. I had these pallets, so I was able to cut them in half, and I would have enough to do the entire foundation. So the next thing I needed to do was make sure that this was all level. I did that by getting them as close as I could by eye. So I got my laser out, and I was able to level them using that. It only needs to be roughly level because we're gonna throw a 2x4 on the top here. So I did this by pulling the skids in and out of the hole a whole bunch of times, packing the dirt back into the hole, taking a little bit out, scraping it, stomping on the skid, and then packing the dirt with the handle of the shovel. I did the rest of this off camera to get them completely level. And the reason that I'm putting these 2x4s on there is so that I have a flat, straight surface that this shed can sit on, that the flashing can also go on, and that I have something that is solid the whole way through for the wiggle wire track. Now I'm going to fasten the frame of the shed to the foundation. So you got some all around here. It's good for attaching things that you need to wrap some type of fastener around to hold one thing to another thing. You can either cut this with some like tin snips, or you can pick a hole and bend it back and forth a whole bunch of times until it snaps right off. Less tools required that way. It takes a little bit longer than if you actually had something to cut it. This is the shape I've got. I'm gonna do the other side exactly the same, and since this is such a long project, you guys don't need to see me do the same thing twice. Alright, so this 2x4 we're putting on the back is basically the same as the one that we put on the sides. It's not necessary to hold the shed up like the other one was, but it's going to be necessary to follow the flashing around the shed, also for our skirting and for our wiggle wire track again. So we're going to add this 1x4 on the top. We're going to do about 4 of them, and that is so that we can hang things off of it so that it helps support the plastic once there's snow load on it, and that it just sturdies everything up a little bit. Spent a big part of the day today getting these tracks here. A friend of mine had these in their scrapyard, and they said that I could have them for free, so that was awesome. I picked up a bunch more of my wood. Anyways, today we are using a drill with this really fancy Magnum bit. It's made by Norseman. It's got this step bit tip on it, which makes it super easy to drill holes in metal. So we're gonna use this, a little bit of oil that we've got over here, and we are going to drill holes through the top pieces here so that we can have 2 runners going this way and 2 runners going this way. And we're going to use some galvanized hardware to hold it on there. I got all of our hardware, galvanized hardware, just so that it doesn't rust as easily. Got these are our carriage bolts. I've added 2 boards on the back as well as the other 2 up here. I'm gonna cut these off with a Sawzall after. And right now we're gonna bolt some on the sides. I went ahead and done some stuff off camera because the single camera battery that I have was not charged. So here we have a door that we put in. It has a 4x4 dug into the ground and a 4x4 dug into the ground, and then 2x4 on each side then mounted up here. Then I went ahead and on the foundation here, just on this side, I have taken fence boards and nailed them all on. I got some fence boards that we're gonna have to put up on the back. And then I actually ran out of fence boards, and instead of going to buy them, I've got some of this barn board that I've got a stack of over there. So this is our wiggle wire track, but it's gonna go on right here, and that's what our plastic is gonna get held into. But if you think about how where it would go, the water will come onto here, slide in, and we don't want any of that. So what we're gonna do is flash this with aluminum, coming up 3 inches. It'll be bent here and here, and it'll come down about 1.5 inches. That way, the water that comes onto it will have no choice but to go off of it. This is the barn board from earlier, and I'm cutting it up into 1-foot sections, approximately maybe a little bit longer, for the skirts that we are using on the side of the foundation that I'm now hammering in and nailing on. These don't actually quite go to the ground, so how's that even helpful? Well, the greenhouse floor is getting dug out 1 foot to 2 feet, somewhere in that range, and so all of that dirt is going to come to the outsides of the shed, and it's going to create a hill of dirt, which will also hopefully help insulate the shed. The floor is all dug out. Since this is all sand, there's the problem of where we stop digging out the floor. It's going to need something to stop it from turning into a 45-degree angle and falling. And so what I've done is I've gone ahead and dug some holes. Anyway, so we're gonna put these boards, just 2 boards in, one here, and then nail on some boards that are going to hold back the dirt. Here is our bent up flashing. We got a couple pieces of it there. Honestly, this is just going to be trial and error here, so I can't really offer any advice to how that's going to go. I'll just show it to you after. I've been informed by the editor that there is no outro to this video. Let's wrap it up almost 3-4 months later. It is now late November. It's freezing cold outside. I'm building another room on the front of the greenhouse that's gonna keep some heat in. Got the 2 layers of plastic on there. We used the wiggle wire track and wiggle wire down here as well. There's our aluminum down there. Oh yeah, it is toasty warm in here. Thanks guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys are new, please subscribe. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. We'll see you guys all next time. Peace out. Bye.